Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Foundry. Oh man, we've got tons of stuff to do. Between episodes, I did a fair amount of work. The main thing I did was just scaled up our concrete production. There is that way down here. Oops, let me take a look down here. I basically just added 3 more of our huge casting furnaces or whatever they are. Down here, let's see, back this way and through here. Yeah, just added 3 more of these guys to make concrete for us. And then I also set up storage for concrete. So we've got a bunch here for crafting because I know our concrete production is actually a little slow. It's backed up now. But it's backed up now because I'm just about done researching everything that requires Science Pack 3s. Did set up a brand new storage here for Science Pack 3s too, just because I know this production's a little slow. I wouldn't mind having this stuff kind of start backing up and storing so that when we unlock Science Pack 4s, we'll have an abundance of Science Pack 3s already done. That'll make up a little bit for the anemic production that we've got on that. I've been doing a bunch of tech tree stuff, so researching everything I can out of the tech tree, then also doing research at the station. We're just about done with the big research at the station. I'll show you how things look up there. Look at upgrades. Right now we're doing this structural improvements one. I've been upgrading as much as I can, trying to keep things going. The limitation has been construction material we've got up here at the center of the screen. We're trading for that right now, and we're only getting like 50 at a time per trade, so that's kind of coming in a bit slow. But I've been doing all these upgrades, and then I unlocked this market office. You can see I've got a bunch of these licenses unlocked. This is going to allow us to either purchase or sell these items from the galactic market. And I've been researching these mainly because they don't cost any construction material. They cost Thermalite bars, which we have a ton of. So I've been doing these to help save construction materials. But right now, the one we are researching the structural improvements upgrade, that one did take 1,500 construction material, but it's almost done. I guess we'll hang out here till this is done. You can see items delivered, 1454 out of 1500. That's almost done. And then I've been doing some kind of theorizing on what we want to do next. If we look at the map, I think last episode we talked about having the Science Pack production just proceed south this way, keep building out our factories this way. And then I was planning to have our robotics factories, building bots that we sell on the market or sell to planets eventually, have that expand off to the right. But I think what I'm going to do instead is just build another production line for robots that starts up top here, away from these mountains, then just kind of grows down south. Don't know that we're ready to build more bots just yet. It is an option. We could work on that now if we wanted more Thermalite and do more trading. Yeah, I'm thinking this area we'll do for our bots. We'll just have that start at the top and expand south. Then I'm also thinking maybe a new production line out here somewhere, a set of factories that'll be like our mall. So things like conveyor belt, tier 2 conveyor belts or tier 3s, kind of stuff like that we're using a lot of. Solar panels eventually maybe could go in here. Maybe construction materials. Eventually we're going to be able to build those on the planet and send those up to the station. But I'm kind of thinking we'll just do another line going top to bottom. That way, kind of keep things organized and know what's where. Let's see. Our research is done. Let's pick another station research. We don't have much construction material, so we'll probably have to go with. Let's see. Like this takes 150 construction material. We could do it, but let's do one of these licenses. We'll just work our way down here. Xenoferrite rubble, get that going. That takes 5,000 Thermalite bars. We have plenty. What we're going to need to do. So we got a few options. I mentioned we could build construction material down here and import it up to the station. That would allow us to research maybe a bit faster. Another option is doing a factory for solar panels. We have those unlocked now in the tech tree. We got solar panels, the small ones, and we've got the batteries, the small ones. So we could build a factory to do that stuff for power. The other option is Science Pack 4s. These guys, that kind of makes logical sense. And then what was the last one? Oh, the more bots to sell bots. I don't think we need to sell more bots just yet. I think what we want to do is maybe get working on Science Pack 4s. As it turns out, though, if we look at the ingredients for this, we've got circuit boards as the first component. We look up circuit boards. It takes electronic components and polymer board. Electronic components is no problem. We can make those easy, but we haven't made polymer boards yet. And then polymer boards, these guys need like oil products here. So it says 5 liquid polymer. And if we look at the recipe for liquid polymer, it takes the crude olamite. And the crude olamite, we can go look at the deposit. We've got one nearby. So let's go over and check out this deposit. It's kind of straight ahead this way. I've actually already thrown a pump jack down on that deposit, but let's go take a look. Getting close. There it is right here. There's an olamite reserve, and then we have another one not too far away from here if we look at the map. Yeah, another one straight off to the west. That one looks bigger. But this pump jack requires high voltage power. I think that's what this guy is. Let's just double check. I think in the crafting menu it'll tell us. Where are you, pump jack? Where could you be? Pump jack. Yeah, it says it needs the high voltage grid. We are not producing any high voltage power. So that means we need to start doing that. I've got 2 boilers, and I believe these boilers are going to get us high voltage power, right? Yeah, so we can produce steam in a boiler, feed it into a turbine. That will feed our high voltage grid. Then we'll be able to wire power over to these pump jacks. So how do we get boiler fueled? And what do we fuel the boiler with? I'm thinking what we can use is there's a deposit of ignium ore here, kind of close by. We need water. We know we need to be near water. So maybe over here we set up a couple boilers and some turbines and start generating high voltage power. Maybe initially we just use it for pumping oil or use it where we need to. We don't power our main grid with it. We just power the stuff that needs high voltage power. So let's go over there. Map. Yeah, let's head over to this deposit. You can see I dropped something down over here. Boom. So if I scan, there's the ignium ore deposit. It's it's way down there. Way down there, right? See, yeah, look how far that is. I think that's at level 56. It's almost easier to tell on the map. Yeah, height is 55. We're currently at height 132. So that's a ways down there. So what we're going to make use of are elevators and freight elevators. And man, it took me a while to figure out how the heck to use these. I had to look online because the help just wasn't doing it for me. But I placed an elevator, and I can see if I have another one in inventory. I do. I'll show you what I did here, how this works. Oops, right click on here, boom. Pop this guy down. The way the elevator works is you come inside, doesn't need power, and you open config frame. New, this thing where it says new, that's the level we're on. So if I just said this is the surface, this is basically a stop on the elevator. I do that, hit confirm. Now you can see if I click this button, it would take us to the surface. So we're already there. Now, if I want to go deeper, say I can add station and I can say ignium. And we said that height was shown on the map as 55. So if I click OK here and confirm it, what's going to happen is this personnel elevator is just going to automatically start digging down to that level. It'll take a little while, but it'll dig. It doesn't need power. It doesn't spit out rock or anything, but it'll dig all the way down. Once it's done digging, get rid of this one. Boom. Once it's completed digging, I've already done it here. So there's surface, there's ignium deposit. If I click ignium deposit, boom, elevator doors close, down we go. This is super nice for getting down lower. But it took me a little while to figure out how this thing works, to tell you the truth. The help for this one's not as bad. The freight elevator, I could not figure out how to get that thing going. We'll see if we can pull it off this episode, because we're going to need to do it. Okay, so now we're at level 55. And if I scan for our ignium, we're going to use this ignium for the boilers, I think. I'm hoping it'll burn it. Let's go burrow over to this stuff. This is going to take a minute. What is this? Stone, of course. Take a while for me to get there. I'll be right back. Let me dig to the ignium. All right, I'm back. So I've dug a path out to our ignium ore. We got a bunch of it right here, tons of it. I've got some base blocks here. What we need to do next is think about mining drills. So let's put these down, drone miners. Go with 3 of these again. This is just going to be used to fuel our boiler so we can build a high voltage power network. And we need loaders. Boom. And we obviously need power down here, right? How are we going to get power down here? Well, as it turns out, our elevator does have a connection here for the high voltage power network. So if we can generate power up top, we can bring it down here. We've got to run that power through a transformer. Let's put that. Let's see. Let's can I do this? Let's kind of save in this space for our freight elevator. We'll see that in a minute. Wonder if this has a connection on the other side. Let me drill out this other side. Because we're going to need to plop down a transformer, and then I want room for our freight elevator to bring this ignium ore back up. Then we're in another one of these catch-22s where in order to get power down here, we need to generate high voltage power. And in order to generate high voltage power, we want to bring this ignium ore up to a boiler. So we'll probably have to do a little bit of hand feeding the boiler initially. We'll see that in a minute. I'm just now digging out a space to see if we can hook up transformer. Ugh. Not on this. Let's see. There's the power connection on that side. Don't see one on this side. Bummer. I was kind of hoping to put this thing out of the way a little bit. That's all right. We'll pop it down here. We're going to need to put this down on low voltage power network. So let's clear this out. We'll put some base blocks down. And then we'll plop the transformer on top of this. That'll convert our high voltage power to low voltage power, which is what our miner drones need. That'll all get filled in. These guys. Then let's just to make this look a little better, let's get this last row out of here. All right. Base blocks. And now let's plunk down a transformer. I think I've got one in my inventory. I went and grabbed it. This guy, not real big. Let's put it there. That's fine. And then I think we just connect and then connect. Oh, how do we do it? Cable. Not sure how we do the cable. Let's see if there's something I'm supposed to craft for that. Yeah, looks like it. Power line. Let's get a couple of those. Do I have to have that on the hotbar? Zero. Okay. Structure's blocked by terrain. Okay, we gotta do a bit more drilling, it looks like. So let me just put something down here that I can hop up on. Guessing this is needed. We'll see. All right, now let's see if they let us hook this up. You to you. Boom. Okay, now those are linked. So our personnel elevator will bring power down for us. This transformer will convert that power to the low voltage power network. And then we need to connect these two guys. Let's drill this out. We go too wide just for looks. What we could do, let's connect this up. I'm just thinking here. Boom. You have a lot of extra space here. Maybe we put the freight elevator like right here. I don't think this needs to be connected to power. So the way this one works, I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see. I think I have an idea how it's going to work. I've got 3 freight elevator components built, and we need 2 for every time we do a freight elevator. So let's click one of the, or right click, boom. And now let's pick, I'm right clicking, we can pick either the top of the freight elevator or the bottom. Since we're underground, I'm going to pick bottom. Boom. I want the base of the freight elevator to be right here. Boom. Now it's putting pillars up, these little blue pillars showing where the freight shaft is going to be. So let's go up top. Jump up to the surface. And we'll put the other half of that freight elevator, and I think it's going to start digging just like this one did. Digging its own shaft for the elevator. Okay, we are there. Oh man, of course it's going to... Of course it's going to go right through my belt. All right, we'll take care of that. Let's take care of that right now. In fact, what is that? I think that's xenoferrite. I can't tell the difference between the xenoferrite and the ignium with my color blindness. Let's do... Just want to route that belt out of the way for now. This is goofy, I know, but maybe I'll come up with a way to make this better. Boink, 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 boink. Let that stuff clear, and then I'll bring this around. Up here is where a freight elevator is going to come popping through. Here, and then actually I don't want those base blocks here either. Let's grab too much. You come across, and then the belts come across. You hook up. Backpack. Yeah, I think that was xenoferrite. I have some ignium ore rubble. These two things right here, almost identical to my eyes. This ignium ore rubble and xenoferrite. Because I'm colorblind, those look almost identical. All right. So here's the top of our freight elevator. And now we just need to place that top component. Should I dig this down or fill it in? Go up a level or up 2 levels. Let's dig down, actually. Because maybe we're going to want to end up going underneath this, this other belt we have going on. So if I go a little bit deeper, it's not really a right or wrong answer here. Let's clear this out. And let me grab another freight elevator component out of my inventory. This guy, right click again to get the top. Big, we just place this where we want the ore to come out. And this is fine. This level, I think, is fine for us. Boom. I believe, yeah, you can kind of see it's digging its way down. Okay, now we got to worry about getting high voltage power over to this connector right here. We don't need base building blocks. We don't need a transformer. What we do need is to generate some kind of power. Should we do this right on top of the water? If we look in the help and we look at boilers and turbines, you can see what they did. They just put a platform out floating on the water. They have a supply of some kind of fuel here going into a boiler. They have water coming up to feed the boiler as well. Then steam goes into the turbine and out comes the happy high voltage power. And then they're running... Oh, they're running a low voltage network here just to feed for the loaders to work. Yeah, so we are going to need another transformer. So yeah, this does have to be kind of on a platform. I guess we can follow this model. Let's do it. So we want to kind of be in this area. So let's come down here. Let's start with a little bit of dirt to square things off. What happened there? I see. Maybe what I want. That's the level I want. Oh, I don't have that much dirt. I got a bunch of stone. I see. That can go. Let's do stone. Had a bunch of both, but I unloaded my inventory. Boom. It's fine. I just want a flat area to start with. We're going to extend this with base blocks. Go as big as we want here. And let's start plunking stuff down just like we saw. We need a water catcher or water retriever thing. That is where? Pipe intake, boom. Pipes, I've got 40, that's might be enough. So we're gonna start with the liquid intake. Let's put that over here if I can, without falling in the water. Apparently I can't. Click you. Can I get you just to... Boom. Okay, then we want that to feed into a boiler. So let's put a big old boiler down. Looking, I'm looking. There it is. it there. I'm just thinking we might be able to run multiple boilers off of this same water intake guy. So you go like that. We'll do straight pipe here and maybe a T pipe here in case we want to scale this. I guess we'd scale it in the far direction. So now we got water coming in. We need to get some kind of fuel source coming in. Eventually, it's going to be the ignium, right? From this mine, where it is. Or this way, right? Let's belt it. So we have an idea of what's happening. Eventually, I got to convert over to using the better belts. We may skip tier 2s and just wait till we get tier 3s, but somehow we're going to have this stuff coming down to us. How would we do this if we wanted to scale it? I guess steam's going to come out the side. We have to jump over steam pipe. So I'm just thinking about scaling this. Something like that. Well, intakes here. And 3. I don't know how many we need. 2 is probably plenty, if not more than enough. And this belt is ignium coming in. Hopefully we don't even have to use this for a long time. I want to convert over to solar kind of as soon as we can so we're not wasting fuel or wasting ignium ore and having to go mine for more of it. But we got to start somewhere. Okay, now it's wind or not wind turbine, but turbine time. These guys are biggies. I'm going to need a bigger platform, aren't I? Damn, let's dig this out. Oh man, I'm gonna have to dig it out, I think. All right, so that's dug out a little bit further. Hopefully that's enough room. Yeah, I don't know how many turbines we can run off of one boiler. Maybe we'll figure that out here in a second. Back to the backpack, and let's drop this guy down. Let's see, where does the water go in? Can I even see? Yes. Oh man, I don't like big machines. Let's try that. Right up to the edge. These lined up. I want these lined up. So let's move this over. We're going to extend the platform. Like a lot. now we got more room. I'm going to try and move this guy one more over so that steam pipe lines up. That guy right there. Okay, now these pipes line up. This belt's going to have to hop that pipe if we want to scale this out further. So let's see. That's going to kind of be a problem. Oh man, I want to move this one more over. There is room. Let me move it over. Let me move it over one more. Oh my goodness. I'm planning for the future here. Might not be necessary, but this big boy we want one over this way, and basically, it can go that way. Show you why I'm doing that here. If we do pipes, want one of those there. And you, and you. That way, if we want to run more steam, I don't know what the ratio is. I can kind of come out this way without getting in the way of my belts. Like if I want to keep sending more ignium down the line to feed more boilers, then I need, I can't have pipes running along here. All right, so that is that. Now what? Can we see? No, we can't see anything yet. Grid connection. Okay, we know we need a transformer, so let's build one of those. And then we'll get ready to, soon we'll prime this thing and we'll get some electricity going. Okay, this puts out 360 steam per second, right? 360 steam per second. This one I have no idea. We see here 360 steam per second. Yeah, this consumes 360 steam per second, it looks like. So it looks like it's a one-to-one with these guys. All right, let's put down the transformer. And that's going to actually be needed so that we can put low voltage on these base blocks and power our loaders. It's really all that's needed. I think the only reason why this is needed. So let's connect that up with some cable. You to you. This origin and destination object are not allowed to be connected directly. But wheels? Okay. Does it have to go through a power pole or something? You insist. Let's see if that works. Yep, it's got to go through a power pole. Don't ask me why. Yeah, 360. Now let's think for a second. We want to run this power over to the personnel elevator. So let me make more cable. And we'll run power over there, and then we'll prime the boiler with ignium that we have in our pocket or biomass that we've got in our pocket. How far can you go? Oh, not far. Power pole small. Right click and get a bigger power pole. I think I've got the ability to craft larger power poles. Oh, I don't have polymer boards. Yeah, we're stuck. I think we're stuck with the little ones. That's fine. We will make do. So you, as far as you can bring me. Not far. We're going to go connect over to that thing. Try and do right angles here, I guess. Okay, so that is powered up. We've got a transformer down at the ignium level. Get mining drones set up. Loader required over here. Let's take care of that. Oh, loader required. Oh, you know what that means? It means I gotta have a low voltage power network over here. Bummer. Okay, another transformer, I guess. Let's do it. Wrong menu. Transformers, looking for them. And we're gonna need foundations. It's a bigger production than I was thinking it was gonna be, I'll tell you that. Take some of this out. Boom. Boom, you get your loader. It's ignium coming from underground. And then transformer goes over here. You connect up to that, so you guys are all happy. I think all I need to do now is prime that boiler. We'll see what I've forgotten. Probably a mistake in here somewhere. You've got water, yep. I think I just do that. Oh, it took my biomass. So let's see. Now the big challenge to see if this is all working. We gotta wait and see if we actually get ignium ore coming up here. And then what we're gonna do, all of that work was just so we can power a pump jack, right? And start working on those polymer boards and processing olemite. So if we look at the map, we're going to run high voltage power over to this reservoir over this way. So we can start doing that now, probably. Let me craft some more cable because our power poles don't run very far right now. And let's start running that network. Try to go in a relatively straight line here. Whoops. Wasn't planning on swimming there. Trying to go into a straight... Oh, man. Map, where am I going? Need to go... the direction. Let's start heading this way. This is where we really need to go, right? North? Yeah, I kind of want to run power over here, too, because we're going to be mining that. So north... matter. I don't know, power pole smalls in inventory. Ugh. Always something. So I'm going to go need to get resources. I'll be right back. Let's we can check real quick and see if our ignium has come up from the underground yet. Not yet. We can go down. Let's go check. See what's going on down there. Hopefully we're mining and getting power down here. We'll know pretty quick when we look at the loaders and we look at the mining drones down here if it's working or not. I think you know what? I don't think I routed the conveyors all the way over to the freight elevator. So we'll do that too while we're down here. If I forgot that step, I think I did. Yep. These guys have no power. That's a problem. This is connected, and it's connected up there. Offline. Let's run these conveyors before I forget. You need a loader too. All right. Then we'll load the freight elevator with ore. I don't know if we have to put it in a particular spot to have it go. And there's a channel that goes up and a channel that comes down. We'll see how that works. This is what's concerning me. We should have power coming here now. Grid stats. High voltage power grid. Steam turbine says 0. Oh, I didn't. I'm not sure what's going on there. Transformers. This is our problem, obviously. Let's go take a look. Man, this turned out to be a big project. I do like these elevators quite a bit. Once you learn how to use them, it beats digging down, that's for sure. Once we have solar cells and batteries in production, we'll have we'll have a high voltage network all over the whole map. So what's going on with the boilers here, fellas? Did I not connect the steam? I didn't connect the steam. No, I did. Did I? Output steam. Output any requires water to operate. Maybe that's not actually the steam. Yeah, maybe that's not the case here. There's a way to empty these. I think you hit the V key and then click, then hit trash to get the water out of there. And let's run a pipe and see if I can get steam into this thing. Is that going to need to scale? We'll figure it out. Let's see if we can get this thing working at least. That. Okay, now the turbine is spinning. Now we should be getting power. We can check the network panel here. Transformers. Loaders. Drone miners look like they are consuming. Yep. So those look to be working. We should see ore coming through here soon. I don't know if it does it in batches or what. Let's go down and look. Watched pot never boils, and if I stare at that belt, no ore is ever going to come up. But I think we'll see it down here. Check it out. Check it out. Here's the freight elevator taking baskets of ore up. These guys are doing their things. Got more than I need, and this is a pretty big supply of ignium, so we should be good there. Everybody looks happy. Get rid of these. Yeah, and this thing does not need to be on power on a low voltage network, but the loader does. That's all looking good. Oh. Got no research going on right now. I don't know if there's anything left for me to even research. I think I've cleared it all until we get the next science packs. Oh, there's one little thing. That scared me. I was like, man, that's slow. You know, it's not super fast, but I think that's going to be enough to sustain us. Oh, there it goes. It's a little better. I wonder what the holdup is. If it's the freight elevator introducing that little gap. Or are we good now? Now it looks like it's... Yeah, there's a little gap, tiny little gap there. I don't think it's our drone miners because we have enough to saturate that belt, I believe. So once this guy burns through his biomass, he's got 87 left, then he'll switch over to this ignium and we should have plenty. Oh man, oh man. And then we should be able to scale this fairly easy. This belt can keep coming, hop over, feed another boiler. And I can probably pull water from here and feed another boiler and run another turbine as we need to scale this. But again, I'm hoping to convert over to solar soon. So yeah, let's wrap this episode here. Oh man, it was a challenge, but we got a lot done. We used the personnel elevator. We used the freight elevator for the first time. We set up the high voltage network. We ran the boilers and the turbines for the first time. We got transformers. Not bad, not bad. So we have our first high voltage power network. Not bad. Between episodes, what I'm going to do, I'm going to build more power poles. I got to go get more raw ingredients for those. And I'm going to run power poles over to these two olamite reservoirs. And then when we come back next episode, we'll be working on this little olamite reservoir and see if we can't produce these polymer boards. These guys right here. Takes liquid polymer, and we need to get that with a distillation column. It shows there at the bottom of this little pop-up. And then we'll use a flare, I guess, to burn off that waste gas. Too bad we can't generate electricity with that waste gas, but I don't think an incinerator will do it. If we look at incinerator just for the heck of it, I think we have that on here somewhere. Here's incinerator. See how it shows low voltage grid? I may build one of these and plop it down and just see what the help says. Sure would be cool if we could use that waste gas to generate a little bit of power, even if it's for the low voltage grid. That would help. But if not, we'll just flare it off. Did I make one of those? Power poles. Yeah, I've got a flare stack here. We can just run it through this thing. Get rid of it. The waste gas, build multiple of these if we need to. That'll be next episode, and we'll start working our way towards the Science Pack 4s. And then I'll keep research going up at the station in between episodes too. But yeah, that's it for this one. For now, this is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this series on Foundry. What a cool game. And man, have they added a lot of depth to this. We haven't even really gotten into building many robots or connecting with planets and selling to planets directly. But that's coming down the road. I want to thank Glidercat patrons and channel members as I always do for their support. Deeply, sincerely appreciate it. It's what allows me to create these videos for you. And with that, see you all in the next episode.